Welcome to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Skip me, sorry.
Two Americans living in Sweden talking about football. Hey, man, we're ready to talk about week 6. We're getting kind of deep into the season. I just want to start getting scared. A little bit of sadness creeps in. You know, we're almost halfway through the season. It's like, but it is what it is, man. We're getting good football. We got some good games coming up. Some great games coming up this week.
I don't think you need to worry about the end of the season. I think it's I'll tell you the same thing that I told when I was back in the States. We were driving around in my, I inherited this old 1972 Cutlass convertible from my father when he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And for the family reunion, obviously, I have the car parked in my mother's house. So for the whole week I was in Augusta, I was driving around in this car. And after the family reunion, I piled a bunch of cousins in the car, and they all wanted to go to Chick-fil-A. And we were trying to find our way there, and we got a little lost. We made a wrong turn, and whoever was navigating sent me in the wrong direction. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I was like, hey, relax. I was like, when you're sitting in a 1972 Cutlass convertible, the destination doesn't matter, honey. It's all about the journey. Let's
go. I love the wise words from.
Yeah, you got to teach these kids what's up.
From what's your philosopher name? Skiffialis?
Yeah. Skipstradamus is my prediction name.
Prediction, yeah, but what's your philosopher name?
Yeah, it's a good question. Skiffistotle. Like Aristotle.
Yeah, right? Skiffistotle. Yeah, I like it. Well, week 6 is here. And we got to make these predictions, man. And then
we got a couple of little news items that we can sort of rip through real quick.
Yeah, let's rip through.
The Falcons have traded Deion Jones to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, wow.
The Browns get Jones and a 2024 7th round pick, while the Falcons will get a 2024 6th round pick. Now, some people were like, "Oh, why?" Obviously, Deion Jones was great for us once upon a time. However, after his injury, he has not really been the same. And he got injured pretty much right after we gave him a massive $57 million contract. So this was just a money dump for us. We're still going to be on the hook. We got a dead cap hit of like $12 million for this year. But next year, Cleveland Browns are out here trying to do essentially what the Rams did. They're trying to they're trying to win now. By spending money. I don't remember what are we in now? It was week 6.
Yeah.
We got 5 more weeks.
What do you mean?
5 more weeks before Deshaun Watson comes back.
Oh, yes. 5 more weeks after week 11.
As far as I know, he's back in the building practicing.
Oh, really? He's going to be ready, man.
Put your clock, set your timer for that one. This is, in my opinion, a great move for the Falcons. We dumped this salary. It's going to be Cleveland's problem next year. We have a ton of cap space for next year to sort out whatever we need to sort out. This is a smart move to move on from a player who, as far as I'm concerned, he's kind of done. So the other interesting story I saw this week, and this was in London, Roger Goodell hints at the idea of a 4-team European division. Interessant.
Man.
It was an interesting press conference because it kind of grew in a sense because he was basically talking about how he was convinced that London and the UK in general has essentially proven that it would be possible to have 2 teams in London, in Roger Goodell's opinion, which I agree with. They have the facilities to do it, and they have the fan base to do it. And then the reporter asked him, was like, "Well, if you have 2 teams, then why wouldn't you just have like 4 and have a whole European division?" And he's like, "Well, that's exactly what we're looking at." I was like, "Whoa, hold on a second."
Shit.
So that could be kind of fascinating. I'm thinking if you had 2 teams in London, 2 teams in Germany, because they have just as big an NFL fan base in Germany as they have
They need
in
to
the UK.
do. This is when you start talking relegation, man.
Mm.
But I'm sure the NFL owners are not going to like that. But if
No,
you say you
never.
get the same salary cap, we don't take anything away. You just get moved to this other division that you'll probably dominate. Then you remove the worst two teams every year. They get dropped out, and then I don't know. I like that. I would like that if they went bigger and said there's 8 teams, 6 of them in Europe, and 2 are the ones that dropped out of the NFL.
What a weird relegation punishment that would be. Like, not only are you out of the main league, you have to move to Europe.
No, you don't have to move to Europe, but most of your games will be played in Europe.
No, but I just think it would be funny. Like, you move Carolina Panthers, you're now in Frankfurt, Germany.
Amsterdam,
Sorry.
yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
So there's obviously still some major logistics to deal with. The logic in having a 4-team division is that clearly, these 4 teams play each other twice a year, so it would reduce the amount of travel. But it still doesn't answer the question of how do you deal with, when this team, you got the rotating schedule. At some point, this division will have to play against the NFC or the AFC West. That's a nightmare to have to travel all that way for what is a 9-hour time difference.
They could make it like a mandatory bye week after that game. And when you come over here, you're going to do like a tour like the NBA does. So when you go out west in the NBA, you play against all of the teams out there, and then you head back.
That's smart. Hockey does that too. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have to say right now, this is the best week of the year for me personally. We're 5 weeks into the NFL schedule, right? Uh-huh. You kind of really have a good picture of who everybody is and where it's headed. Yeah. You're 6 weeks in to the college football schedule, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, which I am. Thank you very much. And hockey is back as of last night. Okay. It's a beautiful time of year for me. You got basketball right around the corner if you happen to care about that. Yeah. What is that, a week away? I mean, to me, this is like, sporting-wise, this has to be the best time of the year.
And even better, baseball's almost over.
Exactly. It's almost over. It's like, what? Oh, baseball's still happening? Come on, get it over with, guys.
I got some news. Mm-hmm. The NFL is they're mulling the roughing the passer penalties after the season's over.
You don't say.
Some hot news right there. They're talking about, they're looking at that, and it's like they're gonna have to make a change, at least make it reviewable. Is my suggestion. They've taken our suggestion about Europe. They seem to be embracing it even more. Mm-hmm. Take this suggestion, NFL, and make it reviewable from New York. Take the refs out of it so that we're gonna call it debogerize it. So we want to try to remove Boger from as much of responsibility until you find a way to fire him. It's probably a union thing that has him with his job.
Yeah, at some point you're going to have to debogerfy this shit.
He will not ruin anybody else's game/bets.
We also have a lot of injuries this week.
Yeah, unfortunately.
To consider. You got, let's try to rip through them real quick. We got James Conner for the Cardinals. Rib injury. Not sure when he's coming back.
That's just a pain thing.
Baker Mayfield and J.C. Horn for the Panthers.
2 to 6 weeks for Baker Mayfield.
The J.C. Horn thing is, I mean, he's a very important part of their defense. You do not.
They can give up on this season. All right, keep him out. Let him get healthy.
True. Yeah, David Tepper is out here saying like we're going to try to win games, but
they always do.
Stop trying to win games.
Horn had 3 broken bones in his foot.
All he needs to do is spend one Saturday watching the Ohio State quarterback, and he'll start losing games. Trust me. That guy's balling the fuck out. Everybody's going to want that kid. T. Higgins is out for the Bengals. Denzel Ward for the Browns out with a concussion.
God damn.
Who are the other big ones?
Well, Teddy B. Concussion is scary nowadays.
Hey, what's the situation with Tua? Do you know anything more about that?
He's passing all of his stuff, but they're just wait and see. But as far as like they're saying he's been good, so I think he's probably going to play against the Vikings. If not, the next game.
Chris Olave had a really scary moment in the game last week. Did you see that? Where his head smashed. I mean, shout out to him for hanging on to that ball. That wound up being a touchdown, but man, his head. Oof. Yeah. That was scary.
But like I said, man, in the last episode, the NFL, they need to come to terms with the fact that this is a part of the game. It's like boxing doesn't come out and say, you know what I mean? Or MMA, they're not saying like we're going to do our best to prevent. Blah, blah. It's a part of the sport as it is in these fighting sports. And we'll do our best to protect people, but it can happen, and it sucks to see.
49ers were one of the hardest hit this week. Jimmy Ward was out with some sort of a hand injury. Nick Bosa, who we mentioned in the last episode, out with a groin injury. Emmanuel Mosley, one of their top cornerbacks, suffered a torn ACL. I think he's done for the year.
Damn.
Robbie Gould, their field goal kicker, got knocked the fuck out trying to make a tackle on a kick return. So, yeah. Seahawks lost Rashad Penny. That's a big loss for them.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
So yeah, it's starting to pile up, y'all. Check your fantasy rosters. We also have to deal with some bye weeks this week.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, who's not playing this week, we got where's the schedule? Detroit,
yeah.
The Lions, the Titans, the Raiders, and the Texans are all on a bye week this week.
Quick question, man. How many wins does Dan Campbell have to get to keep his job? I think that's a hot seat nobody's talking about.
Actually, I have a question. I have a question for your question. Has an NFL coach ever been fired in a Hard Knocks year?
Ooh. In a Hard Knocks year.
Because that's what I'm thinking might actually help him to keep his job.
No, I don't, you know what? Yes.
Who?
Didn't the Bengals have a Hard Knocks year with what's this guy's name that had to say he was the coach, Hugh Jackson?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they fired him after that.
What are we? Yeah, when you have to tell people that you're the coach.
Yeah, he was talking
you need to be worried about not being the coach for very much longer. If you're explaining, you're losing, son.
Exactly. Oh, it was the Browns. Wasn't it? Okay, the Browns. No. Was it the Bengals? Who was he the coach of during Hard Knocks?
Wasn't that the Browns?
The Browns had a Hard Knocks?
It's a little confusing because he was the coach of the Browns. Wasn't he the coach of the Browns when they went winless? And then he left and went to the Bengals. And then that was Baker Mayfield's first win was against him. Remember, it was a big deal, and he kind of ran over to the sidelines and was like taunting him and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's what it was. He was the Browns.
Hugh Jackson, who did not take money for losing football games, apparently.
Even though I said I did, I did not.
He did, but then he said he didn't, so I guess he didn't.
I might have tweeted that I did, but I also tweeted that I did not after I tweeted that I did. So the rule is final tweet trumps the first tweet. It says, okay, they started 2-5 and won, and then he got fired after his Hard Knock season. It was the Browns. It was because he got fired from the Bengals before. Yeah. So it was the Browns.
All right. So it has happened.
This article, this New York Post article says that there was the beginning of the end. Was that scene when him and Todd Haley were like, when he was like, "I'm the coach." Remember that shit? And Todd Haley was the offensive coordinator. I'm the head coach here, everybody. Just let it be known. It's like, we know, motherfucker. It's on your door.
Well, in Dan Campbell's defense, he is white.
No, but Hugh Jackson kept his job too long and insistent. No.
No,
I'm thinking of Marvin Lewis. My bad.
Okay. I don't think I agree with you that Dan Campbell will soon be on the hot seat. I actually think that if he's smart, I think you said this a few weeks ago. I think it's time for him to start taking a look at his staff. To be honest with you, it's obviously a great story to bring in all these old players and stuff, but you need to go. You need to go get somebody who knows what they're doing on defense. You gotta fix this defense. You can't have the best offense in the NFL and the worst defense in the NFL. All you have to do is just make your defense like 25% better, and you're going to win 16th. Most of your games. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and his downfall is going to be that loyalty, I think. But we'll see. I do think that his personality will keep him his job for the rest of the year. He might still get fired at the end of the year, but I don't expect him to get fired in the season. He says in a press conference recently that, you got to win these games or that you lose your job. And that might have been foreshadowing.
Shit, that we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they can pick it up, man. What else you got going on?
I think that's really it for the news, to be honest.
Okay. Well, let's get into this flip and pick. Is your flip this time?
Oh, I'd like to say before we get started on flip 'em and pick 'em, some people say it's lonely at the top. I'm gonna say it's really not that lonely. I feel good about it. I feel good that I am in sole possession of first place in
ESPN.
in our pigskin pick'em.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're at the top, you're sort of above the clouds. You know what I mean? And you get a nice like kind of aerial view.
I've been there. Yeah.
That's down below. It feels like you have a sense of clarity that you don't have when you're kind of stuck in the middle somewhere. So I just want to say that it's nice at the top. You guys should try it.
Well, in sixth place, it's nice and warm and comfortable because there's 4 other people there. So I'm not that. Damn, I'm kind of far behind you too.
Mm-hmm. I'm out here balling.
You got 5 more victories than me. Damn.
Let's go.
I gotta get my finger on the pulse better. We'll see this week. I think I had a good week last week. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, you ready for this coin?
It's your flip.
Oh, am I supposed to call it?
Yeah, you're calling.
Okay. I'm gonna say heads. It's heads.
Okay. All right. You're gonna start.
Heads. Let's see. Am I gonna start? Wow. These are some tricky games late, right?
I'm not saying shit.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to start.
Okay.
I'm not going to start. I'm going to let you start.
All right. Let's do it. I'll start. I'm going to pick the I think you're trying to go for I see you over there standing, lining up behind the 3-point line. You got your row of balls on the cart. You got your cart there. You set up over there like you about to shoot your threes. Well,
I'm shooting like a deep fadeaway three, just like.
Well, I'm gonna dunk on the Bears right now, and I'm gonna say the Washington Commanders are gonna get the Bears and keep our boy Rivera. Is it Rivera? How do you say his name? I can't speak.
Ron Rivera,
not Riviera. If Ron Rivera is gonna keep his job a little bit, it's cool his seat off a little bit by beating the Bears. So I'm picking the Commanders.
I'm surprised that most people are picking the Bears.
It's weird. I think a lot of Bears fans are in this thing. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you there's not a lot of Falcons fans in this thing. 7% think that the Falcons are going to beat these 49ers.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I base my picks really on a feeling. I honestly do. I really do. And last week I felt it. I really did. And if it wasn't for Jerome Boger, I think I could have been right.
Okay, how you feel this week?
I'm not feeling it this week.
Okay.
After watching that 49ers defense.
Okay, good.
For the last couple of weeks, it's like
I was worried about you.
Even my homerism, it does not make me that blind. Their run game is so good as well. Jimmy G, they've seemed to have settled into a groove where it's like, yeah, Jimmy doesn't have to be good. We have all these other pieces. It's fine. You're playing in Atlanta. We're not very good at stopping the run. I guess we stopped Tampa, but I don't know, man. I just don't see it happening. I hate to do this, but I'm going 49ers.
All right. Skip's picking the 49ers. I'm going to say the Patriots are going to beat the Browns. somebody's very familiar with Jacoby Brissett, and that's Bill Belichick. And I think he's revitalized this season. This is his type of season, his type of team, his type of struggle. So bringing in a rookie quarterback, he wants to beat the Browns and show them something. The team that he sucked as a coach for.
He's gonna pull it out and show it to Nick Chubb.
Show how big it is.
Hey,
yeah, I got a Chubb for you.
You want a chubby? I got something for you.
I got something for you.
Okay, the Jets put up a 40 burger on the Dolphins last week.
They're ready.
The Packers kind of laid an egg against the Giants in the second half.
Damn, they're on their New York tour.
I'm looking for a Packers bounce back game in this one. I think the Packers are going to win.
Okay. What a surprise. I'm going to say the Colts are going to beat the Jaguars. I kind of need it to happen, so I'm going to speak it into existence. Colts are going to beat the Jaguars. I don't know how, but they'll figure it out.
This is part of why I didn't want to go first. I was like, I don't know who's going to win that fucking game.
Matt Ryan, man, stay away from the 35-yard line and you'll be good, Colts.
I do know who's going to win this next game because Kirk Cousins is just absolutely fucking perfect. I love him. He's a good man. I like that. I don't like that your Dolphins will lose, if I'm correct. I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, it's such a great start to the year, and now everything seems to have gone off the rails after this Tua injury. Yeah, I'm going Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Saints Bengals. I'm going to pick actually going to pick the Bengals to win a game. I normally pick against Wack Taylor, but I feel like the talent wise. Oh man, you know what? Saints got a good defense, but they don't have a good offense, and the Bengals have a really good defense as well. So I'm going to pick the better offense to pull it out. So Bengals. It's close. It's closer than I was thinking at first, but the Bengals are going to win.
Yeah, I probably agree with you. I really want that to happen. Next up, we got the Ravens versus the Giants. This one is suddenly a little trickier than most people would have imagined.
Yeah.
But
it's an underdog game too, man.
It is an underdog game. That being said, the Ravens, one of the things that we didn't talk about in the last episode was that the Ravens defense finally played like a Ravens defense in their victory over the Bengals. They've been terrible in the second half for most of their games this year. But seems like they've adjusted. I like the Ravens in this game. I think Lamar will be too much for the Giants to handle. And as long as they can sort out their issues on defense, I don't know. They just need to figure out a way to stop Saquon Barkley and they'll be fine. So I'm going Ravens.
All right.
Daniel Jones certainly doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. He's on I don't even know the names. I've never even heard of these wide receivers who he's throwing the ball to now. Everybody's out.
They just go by first names. Like, give it to Craig.
Yeah. Give it to Craig.
And then we got the Bucks are playing the Steelers. Nothing to see here. Bucks gonna beat the brakes off the Steelers. That's a get right game for the Bucks.
Who should have lost last week, by the way. Right. Speaking of get right games, Rams playing the Panthers. Now I know that in the past, I know what I'm gonna pick. But
I got a theory.
Jonathan has a theory that teams generally win the week after their coach gets fired. However, this team, whose coach has recently been fired, will be going up against Aaron Donald and company.
A desperate Rams team.
With PJ Walker under center. And rumors that Christian McCaffrey is about to get traded, by the way.
Oh, so they're resetting, huh?
It sounds like both Christian McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson. It kind of sounds like the Panthers are contemplating just a complete yard sale.
So what's he saying that we're gonna try to win these games? Of course you're gonna try to win, but if you take away everybody, they want that first pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I would assume that you would not pick the Panthers to win this game. I am
No.
not going to do that either. I'm going Rams in this one.
Wow. I think normally teams plan a little better before they fire. This seemed like a abrupt firing. Like he got pissed and said, fuck that guy, and kicked him out. Normally they kind of plan it to where it's a winnable game afterwards just to keep the morale up. And that's why normally that theory works.
Are you suggesting that David Tepper made a emotional, rash, not very well thought out decision?
Yeah, he pulled it out to show how small it is. And
he pulled it out, and then it disappeared behind his plaque of balls, his giant brass balls.
Behind his big bush.
It's like, all I see is balls, bro. I don't see any dick there.
Well, the way my dick's set up, the way my package.
Hold on, let me pull it a little more. Stretch it.
Okay, then we have the Cardinals versus the Seahawks. Seahawks are at home. Cardinals have Cliff Kingsbury. I think I'm going for an upset here. Let's go ahead and call it what it is, man. I think the Seahawks have one of the best coaches in the league still, who's flexing his coach muscles right now, and I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Cardinals. The 12th man is going to be in there. It's going to be a rough one.
I kind of agree with you, actually.
It's right on the verge of an upset too. 33%. Thank you, everybody.
What's the verge? What's the
33.
edge?
33 is the edge.
Okay. Because this next game, I mean,
what the fuck?
Who's in here thinking that the Chiefs only have a 36% chance of winning this game? I mean,
no, just 36% of the people that picked it think that they're gonna win.
Yeah, that's exactly.
What that means. But they're not saying 36%. It's just 64% of people are stupid. That's all.
I think that, I mean,
I do think Buffalo's going to win, though.
This one's tough because it's so hard to pick against the Chiefs.
Exactly.
It's so hard. But it's like you look at it on paper, it's like, oh, the Bills have a great offense. They have I would say the Bills have a better defense.
They definitely do. Leslie Frazier.
Man, I you know what? My that feeling that I have, that vision that comes to me, it's not me. It's the Skip Stradamus inside of me that speaks to me. It's like Muhammad in the cave, basically talking to the guy. Like the Quran is being spoken to him. Yeah. He's just right. It's not me. I'm just writing it down.
I'm just Joseph Smith looking in a hat.
Exactly. I'm just the guy with the magic underwear and the funny plates. It's nothing. It's not me. It's somebody else. I think the Bills are going to win this football game. I think they're going to get over the hump.
Yeah, I think they're going to be up for this. I think I mentioned it on here before, man. San Antonio Spurs went up against the Miami Heat in the finals. Ray Allen hits the craziest shot ever, and then the Spurs never recovered. The Heat win. They rematch each other the next finals. After winning their last game to make it to the finals, Tim Duncan says, "We're gonna win the finals." Like they were so motivated that everybody just knew, even with the bulletin board material that is saying you're gonna win, it didn't matter. The Spurs came out like that, and I think these Bills are like that. Like fuck this. They have one hiccup. Had a shootout with Miami that they came up short, but they're still. Right. And then they had a game where they looked they should have lost to the Ravens.
Right.
So they looked more vulnerable than we think, but I think they're up for this game, man.
Especially after last week, they must be feeling good about themselves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Then we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. I think the Eagles' winning streak is going to end here. I think the Cowboys' defense is going to be too much for them. Cowboys are going to win. Is this an upset?
Well, according to the way people have picked, yeah.
this is considered an upset, which I do not understand why more people don't think that the Cowboys are going to win this game. So that's 2 upsets for me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
You're the one out here shooting 3-pointers. And now it's my turn to shoot for 3. These Broncos at 8% are going to crush these Chargers. No, that's not. No, I'm kidding. That's not going to happen. I have. This is a funny game actually, because this is like 2 coaches who I have very little faith in.
They're going to be both trying to lose desperately.
I know. But I would argue that the Chargers have better pieces.
Mike Williams. Oh my God.
Williams is
special. He's a highlight king.
Yeah, Mike Williams is great. Cam Akers is back, which is making everything a lot easier for Justin Herbert. The Broncos are discombobulated on every level. I'm going Chargers.
All right. I want to do this new segment that I just thought of. I need some breaking news music. Breaking news. We will now try to investigate which game will Nathaniel Hackett be fired.
Ooh, I like this.
We're gonna pull up their schedule. I got their schedule up.
Hold on, let me get it. This is a great game. I love this. Where are we?
I got the schedule up.
Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Okay.
They just played the Colts. All right. They lost to the Colts. All right. So this game is going to be a Monday night game for some reason. They're playing the Broncos. I mean, the Chargers.
Oh, my God, bro. Can we please stop putting the Broncos in primetime?
This is like 4. It's like
this
4
has
games.
to stop.
So we got Broncos Chargers. Then we got Broncos Jets. Then we got Jaguars. Then we got Titans, Raiders, Panthers, Ravens, Chiefs, Cardinals, Rams. That's the rest of their. Damn, they're playing the NFC West. That's the rest of their season. Oh no. Then we got another Chiefs game.
Chiefs and Chargers.
And the Chargers. Those are the last 2 games of the season. When does Nathaniel Hackett get fired? I'm gonna say, because I feel like they might lose. They're gonna lose to the Chargers. The Jets game. They're probably going to lose to the Jets, man. The Jets are the season spoiler. I've chosen them to be the spoilers this year.
Is that because they put a 40 burger up on your Dolphins?
No, I meant before that I said that they're spoilers. And I think that, whatever. Fuck you, Skip. and then we got the Jaguars game. I think Jaguars are better than them, man. They're supposed to lose to the Titans, but they're going to lose one of those games. You know what? I think after November 20th, when the Raiders beat them, that's going to be the one. Because the Panthers is a winnable game. So you fire them so that when they go against the Panthers, that's a victory. What do you think?
I was going to say that they're not going to be smart enough to do that, and it will be the fact that they lose to the Panthers is what's going to get him fired. Like, that's going to be the moment where it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Because think about it. He's a first-year coach. I mean,
New owners. He's not their coach.
Right. They didn't hire him. It's his first year in charge of the team. So they're going to give him a lot of rope, and they're probably going to sit there and go like, you know what? We can make it through the rest of the season with this guy. It's going to be fine. The losses are going to start to pile up. They're going to play against the Panthers, who have, already fired their coach, right? At this point, maybe they don't even have Christian McCaffrey or Robbie Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
What if Baker Mayfield's not playing? They lose to PJ Walker. It's like, at that point, you're like, okay, you know what?
Oh, they look bad. Like almost lose to the Panthers.
Would you fire somebody for almost losing to the Panthers?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
if my team is this team that last year was a quarterback away, and then they fired.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you that if you're going to fire him, you do fire him before a winnable game.
Yeah.
But I'm a little curious if these new owners, because you have to take into account that they're new to this too. right? Maybe they're not that smart when it comes to how to run their team. So
Okay.
I agree with you that it could either be after losing to the Raiders or after losing to the Panthers.
Okay. I don't know. It's just something that popped in my head. How long
I love
will
It's a great game.
the Nathaniel Hackett firing watch?
It's a really good game.
Man.
You know what? I have another game that I'd like to play real quick.
Okay.
Which is which teams, if they lose this week, which teams would you consider should be hitting the panic button?
Number 1 is the Raiders. Like, Steelers don't need to hit the panic button. Texans don't need to hit the panic button because.
But they are who we thought they were.
But
Sure.
Especially with the Steelers going with a new quarterback and all that stuff. But the Raiders, we were talking about all 4 of these teams making it to the playoffs, and the Raiders have only won 1 game and have blown a big lead to beat what I think is a bad team in the Cardinals. So like they're losing in all the ways. Just like how we're talking about the Chiefs winning in different ways, the Raiders are losing in different ways. So I'd be worried about them. What about you?
I would add the Packers to that list.
Oh, yeah. That's another one. That's really good. I'd add the Packers, too. For some reason, I didn't see. Oh, I was only looking at AFC. On the NFC side, the Packers and the Rams.
Agreed.
The Rams, it's almost time. My finger is hovering over the button already. But those are the 2 teams that I had higher expectations for. Actually, I thought the Packers would be where they are, actually, because
maybe the Cardinals, too.
The panic button's been hit, man. I hit the eject button. I hit the eject button a long time ago on the Cardinals, man. When they, like they re-signed this dude, and then he talks about as soon as they re-sign him, he starts talking about somebody doing homework for the quarterback that you re-signed, and put a clause in there about homework, and then the quarterback goes and doesn't do his homework. And fucking spikes the ball on 3rd down, not knowing anything at the first down. But you know what? Did you hear that? And we didn't talk about this last episode, but the people there, like the staff there, that's in charge of doing the dun 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 defense and all the chants and all of that, they put 1st down up on the monitors. So Kyler Murray looks up and he sees the big 1st down thing, so he spikes the ball. Without looking at the actual scoreboard to see what down it was. So he sees the big 1st down. He's like, I ran for 1st down. Feels like he got it anyway. Then he spikes the ball without checking the scoreboard. So
interesting.
So it's their own fault for like doing
The other team I would put on panic button alert would be the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. That's another good one. They're supposed to be at the top of that division, and they're in 3rd place right now. So, like, being behind the Browns. Really?
And then if you lose to the Saints, who
which is
obviously
a losable
have.
game. Yeah.
Hey, look, I mean, we've said it before. The Saints have a good defense, but they ain't got shit on offense unless they're, coming out and
gadgets
and confusing you with Taysom Hill. Yeah. But that usually only works like 1 or 2 games a year. So. Yeah.
And 1 or 2 times a game.
I don't put the Browns on the panic button list because they obviously are dealing with a very unique situation where they're still waiting for their starting quarterback to come back. Maybe the Colts should be on this list.
Yeah, I would. I kind of pressed it already. The only thing that keeps you from panicking is the fact that they are in such a bad division.
Right.
And they also have that tie.
True.
Which is going to help them out in the end. If they end up with the same amount of wins as the Titans, then they win that division. So they got lucky enough to come up with a tie thanks to Lovie Smith playing for the tie.
I would probably put the Lions on this list too. Who I know they're on a bye week, but who do they play? Who do they play the week after they get back? They play.
Who? Who'd you say?
The Lions.
Oh.
In an ideal world, you don't want a loss. You want to win. But if you can't get the win, and sometimes you settle for the tie. A lot of football left to go in the season.
That's deep. That's deep, man.
Oh my God, the Lions have a very difficult game coming out of their bye week against the Cowboys.
I got 2 weeks to
Is
prepare.
that true?
They got 2 weeks to prepare, man. They're gonna win that
Yeesh.
game.
Who do they
Yeah,
play
but-
on Thanksgiving? Could we see a Thanksgiving firing?
They're not gonna fire Dan Campbell in the season. That team will
Oh my
fall
God,
apart.
are they playing the Bills on Thanksgiving?
Oh no! Oh,
Oh God, that hurts.
damn!
Is it true?
There,
My Lord.
I think he gets fired after the season.
Yeah, me too. But I'm just saying, panic button wise,
Yeah. I mean, Lions should have been hit the panic, but I don't know. You panicking if you got we beat that dead horse with that he needs a new staff, but he's not gonna do it. That's gonna be his undoing.
totally.
But I'm excited about this season. Those of you that want to follow our bet journey, then go to patreon.com/SveNFL. Damn, I almost forgot which podcast this was.
And don't forget, it's about the journey, y'all. It's not about the destination.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't win. Sometimes you get a tie. So
In an ideal world, you don't want a loss. You want to win. But if you can't get the
Oh,
win,
Lovey.
and, sometimes you settle for the tie. A lot of football.
Yeah, a lot of football left.
a lot of
Lovey.
football
A lot of
left, y'all.
football
We
left.
got these bets good. And our bets looking good. Our division bets looking good. So follow that, and you can make the bets as we do. Or if you think we're idiots, just do the opposite, and then you can win some money. But yeah, thanks for checking this episode of SveNFL out. We'll be back with the reactions to this week's week 6 games. But good luck to all of your teams. Unless your team is the Minnesota Vikings. Fuck the Vikings.
Yeah, and who are we playing? Oh, yeah, fuck the 49ers.
Yeah, easily. All right. Well, thank y'all for checking it out. It's been Jonathan Rollins.
Skip Misara.
And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Later, y'all.
Get serious, get a job.
You better get yourself a job.
Get serious.